Hello and welcome to another episode of the Tejano Traveler. Today we're taking a look at some Texas history and we are looking at the man himself, Lyndon B. Johnson, LBJ, who is one of our presidents. And his history starts at the Johnson settlement, close to, you guessed it, Johnson City. You can come here and check out some of the early settlement when the family first moved here. You can see some of the old buildings, get to experience what life was like in the pioneer days, and get to look at some of their cattle and longhorns that they used to raise and look at some of the cabins. And also on the property is the LBJ boyhood home where he grew up. You can come check out the house. You can actually tour it, but I didn't have time to do it this time around. But then you can go to San Marcos and go to the LBJ Museum. He was a student at Texas State. It used to be called something different back then, but it was still the same college. And close to campus, they have a little museum dedicated to his time there. Of course, it talks about other events in his life, but you can still go there, get to learn a lot about LBJ and what he was like in his early young days. Here in San Marcos is where he sort of got the political bug and he started wanting to do more and join politics. And it got into his head that maybe he could help out, and you can see some of that history here. It also talks a little bit about his companion for life, Lady Bird Johnson, but definitely go and check out this little small museum which packs a lot of information about him. And after he graduated, he went to Cotula in South Texas, where he was a teacher and a principal, and this is where he decided that things needed to change, that poor people also deserved a better education. So, thanks to him, we have kindergarten and pre-K and all those programs that help uh, people and education. Of course, his whole life changed at Dealey Plaza that one fateful November day, and you can't really talk about LBJ without talking about this horrid history of the sixth floor and the X and how it all completely changed his life and trajectory. But go to Dallas, check it out, be part of the history, which takes us back to Johnson City for the LBJ National Historic Park. Here you can find out about LBJ and how he was during his time as president. And right across the street is also the LBJ State Park. So it's a national and a state park. And you can come check out the schoolhouse where he first started school when he was 4 years old. It's where he signed the legislation also providing kindergarten to all these kids. And you get to drive around his ranch. You can get to see the pasture lands where his cows used to graze, because he was always a cattleman. And you can also see his Air Force One, as well as the Texas White House, where he would go and pretty much run the nation when he was on vacation while lounging by the pool. And you can get to see some fun exhibits, and I had way too much fun with this cutout of him and the presidential podium. But I think we look good together, don't we? I mean, he's always just sort of teasing me and joking around. Anyways, here you can also see his birthplace. They have his house here. And not only do they have his birthplace, but it's also his final resting place. You can go pay your respects. You can't really get in because it is a private cemetery just for the family, but he's there, and so is Lady Bird. And then you can go to Austin for the LBJ Presidential Library. I kind of like this building. It looks like a weird cake. And this life-size statue of him is tall. I was trying to put horns on him, but I'm too short. You get to see all the different pens he used to sign all his legislation and get to tour the museum, which has a heavy 60s vibe, and all those records up there. But that's the little cutout that I love. I just can't get enough of it. Look at that. We're friends. We hang out. But really nothing can compare to the horror of this animatronic LBJ. He's creepy. He's weird. I can't. I don't know what to do with him. Seriously, come here just for this. It's weird. But those are all his documents up there. You can go check them out. Apparently, you can ask for a document and see what's going on with it. It's pretty big, but they're all there. And then you can get to see what his White House Oval Office looked like. And there he is. And it looks pretty dated, but remember this was the 60s. And you can see his presidential limo, one of the many that he had. It also pays homage to his one and only First Lady, Lady Bird Johnson. And you can actually go in Texas in the East Piney Woods and see where she was born. Not only that, you can actually find her historical marker. I was so happy to find this by accident. But she grew up here in Karnak, Texas, close to Caddo Lake. Caddo Lake was always close to her heart, so it's kind of fun coming here and knowing that this place was saved because of her. And also, you can go to the Lady Bird Wildflower Center here in Austin, which is very rustic and very cool. And you can go out there and see all the wildflowers that she helped save. Like, there are everywhere. You can see them on the side of the road, but if you come here, you can see them up close without having to worry whether someone's going to run you over. Anyways, these wildflowers are awesome, and I've learned to really appreciate them. And then in San Marcos, they have the world's only intersection between LBJ and MLK. You know, it's got its LBJ drive and its MLK drive, and they intersect here in some random place in San Marcos, which is pretty cool. And they put up a little marker for it to celebrate that. Anyways, that's LBJ here in Texas. I hope you are enjoying these videos. Go check out these places, learn some history, and thanks for watching. Bye-bye.